Welcome back to Let's Create with Alex Blake. I'm your host, Alex Blake, and today we have a guest on the pod. Today I have with me Amanda Andreucci. She is part of a design studio. She's the owner of a design studio, and I am so excited to get to talk with you, Amanda.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, Amanda and I have gotten to meet in person once. Today we're just yapping, from our own house and apartment. But, she lives downtown, which is super cool. We were just talking about that. But we got to meet once for a photo shoot. So that was really cool. And we got to shoot downtown at the jewelry company. And yeah, so fun. Now I'm
I
excited to
love
get to actually talk with you, get to know you, hear all about your business a little bit more than just working. We were in a rush that day.
We were on a schedule. We did well on that schedule, but
I'm proud of us, but it was a lot. So I'm excited to just hang out with you and get to know you. And I already told her we're going to make this punchy because I'm trying something new, guys. I'm trying where it's a little bit shorter of an episode, but lots of meat to it, trying to catch you all on your shorter commutes. So let's do this. I already introed you. Why don't you kind of explain your story a little bit, explain your business, tell us who you are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll make it punchy. So like Alex said, my name's Amanda. I own a design studio here in Charleston called Andreucci Design, my last name. We're a team of 3, and we mainly work on branding and website projects. We're kind of opening up to a new market, which is really exciting. And we're zoning in on working with venture capital firms to work with the startups that they invest in on new branding, new marketing, all of that kind of fun stuff. And then we're also kind of diving into the world of franchising. So when people are getting ready to franchise, obviously you have to get all your brand materials together, your website. It's a whole new world. So working on that as well. And we do a lot of work with food and bev, a lot of restaurants here in Charleston, and some in Colorado and some in California. It's kind of random how things kind of jump around like that. And
that's so cool.
What else? I don't know. We're just growing and learning every day. I started the studio around 3 years ago, and we just hit our 3rd year mark in August. So now we're on year 4, and it's very exciting. Things change very fast. Things change all the time. And so no day is like the previous and no day is like the next. So it's a lot of fun. I like it that way.
I love it. I've been super excited for this conversation because I do think it's such a cool topic where our worlds overlap so much with photography and design, but yet they're really, really different. So I'd love to know, did you go to school for this?
Yes, I went to school for graphic design. That was my major.
Okay, cool. And then I feel like your studio does more than just graphic design, though. It's and the website and helping people brand themselves and adding photography into that and, all the things. So how did that happen? Was there a moment where you're like, okay, yes, I've got my degree in graphic design. I know that I'm going to make some sort of business, but that you really found your lane within this?
Yeah. So I love design. And I even say before that, I'm an artist first and foremost. That's what I did growing up. And that's what I went to school for. And when I was in school, I was just a regular art major. And then I moved and decided to focus in on graphic design. Cool. And so after graduating, I worked for a couple different firms. And I just found that just doing design day to day wasn't enough for me. I just had so much more drive and so much more that I wanted to do. And I also love project variety. So I just don't like working on the same brand over and over and over. I love having 5 different projects that we're working on. Maybe one's more corporate and one's crazy fun. And so that kind of keeps me motivated. But when I first started, it really wasn't just enough to say, hey, I can do your logo, or hey, do you need some emails designed? Clients really wanted the whole package. Or I also found that a lot of small businesses needed more help than just a new brand. They needed help figuring out their operations, or they needed help. A brand is so much more than just design. It's the photography, it's the website, it's all of that. And so it's kind of fun, getting to speak with new business owners and really teach them what it means to have a brand and a solid brand, and then turn that into a marketing strategy and see that marketing strategy actually bring them in more money, because everything always comes back to that. So that's kind of how all these pieces started getting added in. But we really do like to stay focused and say our expertise is in branding and websites. We know about a lot, and we want to bring in the right partners for a lot. But we do like to stay niche and focused in on that, so we can do what we do best. And I love
Cool.
bringing people so they can do what they do best. And it's not like we're trying to do everything and overwhelm ourselves.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you said you're a three-person team. What do your other team members do? What's your role within the company? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's all just design, and so the 2 other designers on my team kind of focus on that.
Cool.
They'll focus on the branding of the websites. I do a lot of just the client management relationship, the operations side of the business, and also obviously the design and creative direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of just like we all work together on a vision for a brand or a website or whatever it is. Um, and we kind of just see where it takes us. And it's great because then we have collaborating minds. Like everyone has a different eye. And so
Yeah.
it's great to be able to see that. And it's not just like my take on it, or it's not just
Yeah.
one person's
That's cool.
perspective. It's like a whole it's like you have like 3 different lives that are coming together with their expertise and, to build something. So I found that was
Yeah.
really, like,
That's
inspiring.
really cool. I think when I hear you talk about, okay, I have three different team members, we're all in the same design studio. In my head, you guys are working on different projects. So I think it's really cool to hear, no, we're actually collaborating all three of us together to work on one project. So maybe that answers this question, but I was going to
Mhm,
ask you, how do you add team members into something that's so creative and artful while
mhm.
remaining excellent and like true to your style?
Yeah. No, that is huge. It's funny because I've found so the school that I went to, in Philly is Temple University. The art schools there is called Tyler School of Art. Um, and I've just always found, like, the education and the way that the classes are taught and the professors, like, they did such a great job. Like, I thought they did a great job teaching me. And so a lot of times the people that I work with, whether it's freelance or adding them to the team, come from that program.
Oh,
And
cool.
so that's kind of like a first, like, I don't want to say like, what would you call it? Just like step or not even
Yeah.
like interview, but it's like, okay, you went, I know your education.
You
I
can
know
begin
the
to trust
teachers.
it already.
I can
Yeah.
begin to trust it. It's like, oh, who was your favorite professor and why'd you like them? Then I just know more because I know the professor and all of that.
Sure.
So that's definitely a way that that's the way that it's been the easiest to expand and grow.
Yeah,
Is kind of just bringing in people who I know their education and their background. So
that's cool. What
yeah.
do you think are some things that you've learned about like leadership or collaboration or just even yourself as you begin to kind of scale and build and add people under you?
Yeah, definitely, like, letting go is something that I've learned.
Yeah.
And so I always say, like, if there's a new project or something, I'll always say, like, "Here's how I would do it," just so that someone can feel really supported and know, like, if they're ever stuck. I don't wanna just, like, throw something at someone and say, "Figure it out," like, with nothing.
Right.
So I always like to say, like, here's how I would do it. But in the end, like, you do whatever you think is best. Like, I don't want to put you in a box. This could be a starting point. This could be something you take and throw in the trash and you do something else. Or you could take
Yeah.
this and fully like go into the direction if you have no ideas. And so kind of like finding that balance between making someone feel supported and
Cool.
clear on their directions and not confused and not in a hole and not lonely. But also not micromanaging. Like there's a middle ground and I try to stay in that as much as I can.
Yeah, that's cool. One of the things that you brought up too is that it's not just the three of you guys, but it's also like adding people as you meet them or as the need arises. So, like
Mhm,
somebody like a photographer. So, if there are any photographers that are listening to this, that's like, oh, that's a cool idea. Maybe I should reach out to a design studio near me
mhm.
or like a branding agency or something like that. Do you have any tips for how like a photographer should do that? This was not in a prepared notes that I gave you, but I'm
No,
like, wait,
no
this is a
worries.
good question.
Yeah, yeah, this is a huge question. Well, I'm, like, so big on in any way with business, like, distribution channels, and so that's exactly what this is. Like, if you're a photographer, you're trying to find a way to if you're freelance or you have your own studio, you're trying to find a way to get to more clients, and so
Right.
finding kind of, like, a larger network or a larger one business to get in with, and then they can give you more clients, like, from there, I think that's, like, a perfect way to go about it, and so design
Right.
studios, excellent way. Whether they're big or small, like, a lot of design studios, even if they have, like, 15, 20, 30 people on their team, they might not have any full-time photographers, and they might outsource everything. Like, you never know until you know. And so
Right.
just emailing or messaging on LinkedIn or even DMing on Instagram and saying like, hey, I'm a photographer. Here's my work. If you have a project that you think would align, um, let's like get a coffee or let's do a virtual meeting or something like that.
Yeah.
It never hurts just to reach out because sometimes like in that moment, maybe that's exactly what they're looking for. Maybe they like had a project pop up and they don't have any photographers and they need one. Like you just never know.
Yeah.
And so I would say definitely always reach out. And even if it's just like to be nice and say hi and make a connection, maybe in 3 months they have a project for you.
Right.
Um, and I would say whenever you do something like that, always show up with authenticity and being genuine. Like we are just trying to connect and it's not just like transactional, like, hey, I'm a
Yeah.
photographer, give me business. That's just like awful.
Yeah.
And so like genuinely being interested in like their studio style
Yeah.
or
We're both
have
creatives at the end of the day.
yeah,
Like who you're meeting with, if they're in a creative industry, like we
exactly.
have common ground here. Let's be
We have things to
relational.
talk
Yeah.
about.
I love
um
it.
and just being or like asking questions like what like their inspiration is and how they work.
Yeah.
That's always a great way to approach things like that. So
Yeah, that's cool. Is there anything that you find that brands or yourself are consistently looking for when you're looking for a photographer?
mm, brands or myself consistently looking for. I would say just it's in the end, if in the way that I work, I will always pitch like 3 to 5 photographers to a client and say like here's their
Cool.
body of work. What do you feel is best for your project and your vibe? And so I would say definitely having like, whether it's on your Instagram and it's just like you're constantly posting and you have like your grid and you have a style, or if you have a little like PDF portfolio or anything like that, being really like clear and direct with your style, with your pricing structure. You don't have to say like exactly what your quote is. I know every project's different, but feeling like the person is supported, like you do have some sort of pricing structure. That's like a
Right.
really easy new way for them to pitch you or even ask to be involved in like the pitching process if it makes sense. Um, or being open to hearing what the specific needs are for the project. I would say that's like, did that answer
Yeah.
your question?
Totally. I feel like the kind of bottom line of what you're saying is just clarity. Like just having clarity with what it is you do, what you can offer them, and even your price. And I do feel like that is totally a good answer because that's something that I've seen even with brands. Like they just want the clarity of it. I don't post a ton of my brand work on Instagram, but I do like 1 page portfolios when I pitch to them. And like I just send them like 1 page portfolio of one thing that I work with a lot is apartment complexes. So I have like a 1 page portfolio of all my apartment work that I like, and send it to them and
Wait,
having
sorry,
like the,
Alex, you cut out.
oh
Can you hear me?
no. Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you for
No.
like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and I just let it go to
It's
try, but I
okay.
can't hear you at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, nothing.
Hello? Can
I
everyone
don't
else hear
know.
me?
Wait, I'm turning my volume up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you totally fine.
I can't hear you.
Okay, let me pause us really quick. Guys, we'll be right back. Listen to this short commercial as we take a break. Hey, creatives, before we get to the episode, I wanted to tell you about something super fun that I've been working on, and I'm so excited that I finally get to share it with you. I've created merch for photographers. Guys, I created this collection with you specifically in mind because let's be real, I love to be comfy cozy, and I felt like we could all use a little extra comfort while we're editing, shooting, or just kind of living our lives as photographers. So I created an editing blanket that's basically a hug in blanket form, and of course, perfect for editing. I created socks that have a little camera on it, and it's so cute, so it matches our branding, but also keep our feet cozy. Hoodies for chilly shoot days, hats, t-shirts, stickers, water bottles. I could go on, but I won't. I'll let you check it out. It's all live now at alexblakeeducation.com. Let's get to the episode. Okay, guys, we're back. We made it. Thank you for listening to the short commercial break. That was so
Is
funny.
this your
We
first
figured it
commercial
out.
break?
No, but we can go with it. It's the first time I've announced a commercial
Yeah.
break. So funny. Anyway, we were basically chatting about like how I send a one-page portfolio. So I was saying that I work with a lot of apartment complexes. Well, I don't post a lot of apartment complexes on my Instagram. I
Mhm.
post a lot of senior work because that's the way they find me. But a lot of the brands that I work with, I just email and I send them a one-page portfolio of the things that I've done in the past, the projects that I've done in the past, and how I can be an asset to them and kind of pitch
Mhm.
them my offer. So all that to say, I really agree with everything that you said because I've seen that to be true, whether I'm working with a brand or a design studio like you. So I do think the unique thing of working with you is that you're also a creative, like we were saying. So you
Mhm.
can be really intentional in the relationship of working with a design studio or just another creator in general. And I love that you said, go grab coffee. Like that's such an easy way to like, A, make a friend. We all need
Yeah.
friends, you know? And then B, make like a working relationship with somebody. So I love that. I think that's like such a good idea, I guess, just in general. But
Yeah.
I did want to talk about too, you were chatting about like having all of these people that you work with. Well, AI also is such a big thing in our
Mhm.
industries, just in general, and then also like the world. So, how does
Yeah.
that play a role in your business? What do you think about it in general in the design space? And how does how do you like personally approach AI, I guess?
Yeah, this is a huge conversation topic, and I bring it up with almost anyone that I speak to because I wanna hear everyone's perspective on it. And I feel like what's really interesting about AI is it's basically like when the internet was invented because
Hmm.
everybody is there's this brand new thing that's coming out that everyone knows is gonna be like moving really fast and it's gonna change like the way about so much, just like the internet did. And a lot of like tech companies, software companies, things like that are moving really, really quickly. And I think what we're going to see is over the next like 5, even 10 years, which of those, like, there are going to be so many businesses, which are going to fail, what's going to stay around for
Yeah.
like the long haul. Like Google, for example, what's going to be like the Google of AI? Is it going to be ChatGPT? Is it going to be I think some, like, bananas thing just came out. I don't know what it's called, if you've heard of it, but there's,
Nope.
like there's stuff coming out every day. And so I'm really excited just to see, like, what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, a creative, you can look at it, like, almost like glass half full, glass half empty, like, AI is gonna take my job and I'm obsolete and all this stuff. Or you can see how you can use it to make your process better, your any, like, creative ideas and things like that. Um, so that's kind of where I've been sitting with it is just, like,
Yeah.
where does it make sense to use AI? Um I'm also very, very aware of like, I'm aware that I'm unaware of a lot of like the implement like effects of AI, like
Yeah.
the environmental effects or the ethical like effects and all of that
Right.
kind of stuff. And so I'm just like, I'm kind of at this moment where I'm just trying to take everything in and learn as much as I can and absorb as much as I can about it without having like a stance one way or the other.
Sure.
Just because I don't think there's enough information about it. But
I
what
think
I
that's
do
wise.
think,
Just to
yeah,
pause right there. I think
I'm
that's
just
really wise. So
pausing.
I'm glad that you're like before saying everything, you're prefacing it with that because I think that's like all of us are in that boat. Like we're all a little bit
Hmm.
ignorant to this. It's a brand new thing. We have no idea. But I do think that there is like a personal way that you can choose to approach it with each of our businesses. So I love that you're saying that. Now continue.
Yeah, no, and the way that I'm really thinking about it, especially as it comes to like graphic design, branding, um, I still really, really do believe that no matter what, we're humans at the end of the day, and we live a human life, and we go about our experiences. We're always gonna want like a piece of clothing just because of the way it feels, or we're going to appreciate some sort of sign that's up because of the way it looks and feels in the space. And so that's where I always think like AI really is a tool that even if it can technically make a new brand identity for a restaurant in the click of a button, I always think that there's going to need to be like creatives behind that, just like
Hmm.
even knowing what to tell AI to do.
Yeah,
Even
I
being able
agree.
to be like, well, just because this looks like this, like what's the human psychology behind it? Like what's going on in this space? Like if it's downtown Charleston, like what else is around it? What's the latest trend that people are loving? Like all of these things that are super, super human. Um,
Yeah.
I always think that that's going to be something that's going to be needed. And AI is just another tool, just like the internet is a tool, just like
Yeah.
anything else is a tool. Um,
That's a cool
so
thought.
yeah,
I
so I
think
think
that
there's, you know,
I think that
like,
it's really cool to hear you say like, and a human is always going to have to give AI inspiration if you think about it
mhm,
that way. But what's unique about a human is we can find inspiration from anything. We don't have to rely on something to feed us inspiration. We can just be on a walk and see a tree, which is
exactly.
really cool. So, with that, what do you think is one thing that's maybe outside of the design space that's giving you inspiration lately? What's fueling you?
I've always been I always think like movies and TV are super, super inspiring. Like I know nothing about the creation of film, photography, like any of that. And so like the storytelling that goes into creating like a really great movie or just like a shot of like a scene, that is
Uh-huh.
just like so, so inspiring to me. And it's fun because it's something creative that I don't do at all. I don't aspire to do. Like, it's a creative thing that I can just enjoy. Like, as a
Yeah.
designer, as an artist, sometimes looking at creative things can be overwhelming because it's like, wait, I need to go do that. And so
Yeah.
I love like film and TV and movies, like little mini series because I get to just watch it and just like be someone that's absorbing and enjoying someone's hard work and creativity that went into
That's
this,
cool.
which can always feel like a breath of fresh air. And like it
Yeah.
makes me think like, hey, when you go to an art museum, like you don't have to be overwhelmed thinking that you need to be doing these things. You can just sit there and enjoy the beauty of like something that someone created or
Yeah.
felt once and made this. So it's kind of like
That's
a
cool.
nice, refreshing perspective for sure.
That's really cool. Well, before we wrap up, if there's anyone listening to this who's just interested in design, or maybe they're just starting out in design, or maybe they're like, I hadn't even thought about that until just now. Are there any practical steps or pieces of advice that you would give them?
So, I mean, from what point of starting? Like from 0 or like wanting to start a
Whatever
business?
you feel led to share.
So I would say no matter what, this advice that goes for literally anything, like just starting something. And everyone says that, but really like you'll never we like again, we're humans. Like it's not like with AI, you can just type something in and say like give me a business model for anything and it will give it to you. But like that's so meaningless. That's just like
Mm,
the computer saying something. Like we are this is kind of like big picture. We're on this earth to like experience things and like try
yeah.
new things and fail and have fun and be creative and all this stuff. And so I would say like just start. Like I do not do t-shirt designs, but I am going to a t-shirt like a pop-up event and selling t-shirts. And that's just because like an opportunity came up and I was like, "Hey, let me put some designs together and print something and go sell them literally just for fun." Like just to
I
do it.
love that.
And who knows where that's going to take me. Maybe I'm going to start doing a lot of merch and like selling it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a little thing that I randomly did.
Yeah.
Um, but I would definitely say like just doing it because you'll never know
Yeah.
unless you do it. So if you're interested in trying out design, like just make a fake logo for something and just have fun or reach out to an agency and just see if it's like freelance work that you're looking for, just like see if they have anything. Start following design accounts. Go to maybe like a conference in your area, go to a museum, get a book that's about design. I don't know. Just like do something and stop like
That's
thinking
cool.
about it.
I love that. Just do something and stop thinking about that. I need to hear that more often than you know. So I
Me
love
too.
that.
Me too.
Okay. Last question, Amanda. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you and see more of your work.
So you can definitely follow along on the Instagram. I'll have Alex drop it because it's hard to spell. It's Andreucci Design Studio, and so you can follow along there for work inspiration. I also am very active on LinkedIn, just posting like thoughts. Like it's kind of used as a blog almost, and
Cool.
sometimes they're long posts. Sometimes it's literally just like, "Hey, I saw this, and this is cool. Everyone else should see it too," or it's just a thought that I had. So definitely find me on LinkedIn. It's just my name, Amanda Andreucci. Um, and that's really about it. I mean, we have a website, but we don't really post on there. So I would say Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are the two spots.
Perfect. I love it. Well, I am super proud of us, Amanda, because we were punchy and we got
We
through all
were.
of our topics. And I think it was a perfect one for a short little drive. Maybe
Love
you're
it.
on your way to a fast food restaurant. Maybe you're on your way to go get kids from school. I don't know what you're doing. But guys, I hope that you have a great week. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you next Thursday. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.